all the dead were men. And the people reported missing are all women and children.
Oh
Okay.
boy. I've seen Dragon. I played Dragon Age Origins.
So there's there's definitely something going on, and we'll probably need to investigate where they've been taken. But currently the guard is severely depleted.
We could just
And,
go off script and go off and do some side questing. Annoy
yeah.
the DM.
Well, so visiting with the fortune teller is where we're at right now. Does anyone want to do anything, say anything before we go in and get that underway?
No, I don't think so.
Only real things I have for a checklist are obviously speak to Nisha. Or what was her name? Nishka. That's a K. And then I want to at some point go talk to Amiko about her dad, see what he's up to, and eventually just stop by Sheriff Hemlock's brother's place at the White Deer.
Yep. Okay, so we definitely have some
I thought it was the black deer.
stuff to attend to. No, it was the white deer.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So for those of you looking on the Roll20 screen,
we're all on a couch.
Yeah. had it arranged there. So who would like to go first? Who would wish to be honored with the first reading?
Stand back, everybody. I'm a gypsy as well. Counter curse technology.
And Phrog is currently muted, so we'll make him.
I'm good.
Oh, you're good?
Yep.
Okay. You want to go second, third?
I'm down for going second, I guess.
Oh, okay. Then we'll Rob, do you want to go third, fourth?
I don't care. Whichever.
Okay. So
I have no preference.
Okay, so we'll put you second to last, and then we'll make my character last for reasons.
Doom.
That's scary.
Mainly because I'm going to be doing my own fortune, so it's going to be a little bit boring. But, we'll see. Okay, so Madame Mvashti, who is extremely old, you wonder how she can even stand on her own, old, invites you in, sits
Magic.
you down.
She ain't gotta explain shit.
Exactly.
So you she prepares the deck, dividing it into suits. So what I'm going to do here is share screen. Load this one. Okay.
Okay. So are the others with me right now? Or can they hear what I say?
Well, that's actually up to you guys. I assume you guys would go in as a group. But if you want to go in one after another, that's fine too.
Yeah, I would like to go in by myself.
Okay. And your question?
How am I going to phrase this?
Take your time.
I'll just start over the simple one. Is my sister still alive?
Is your sister still alive? It is knowledge you seek. For that, we go with intelligence. I don't remember the name of the suit. Ugh.
No, what is that?
I think it's the suit of scrolls. So this is the idiot.
Fitting.
Which you would already recognize. It is a card of grave foolishness and grave foolishness and greed. It can mean bribery, blackmail, or naivety so grand it can see no evil. The goblins have captured a foolhardy man, representing the knowledge that loss of dignity can precede loss of life. Now, the spread. So her eyes are immediately drawn to the future. There is a true match on the waxworks. The answer to your question is informed by this true match. A place of helplessness and physical entropy. The mind might be willing, but the flesh is frozen in this place of horror. It is also the card of torture and imprisonment, signifying literal inability to move or a paralysis of a more prosaic kind. The answer to whether or not your sister is alive seems to be no.
I was afraid of that.
If she is alive, then she is likely imprisoned or poisoned and will soon die. However, based on the other information present, we have some partial matches to consider. The snake bite, a vile poison weapon. Poison takes many forms, not all of them physical. Poison on the assassin's blade represents the death of ideas and freedom, as well as the ability to turn friends against each other or poison the minds of the virtuous. This partial match may be significant. She looks up at you. It may be a personal connection. She smirks. The liar. Love at its most treacherous. This is not the love that moves mountains. This is the love that rips the heart in two and causes lovers to lead to their deaths. This lamia can mean obsession, unrequited passion, or doomed love. When it is misaligned, it foretells a new relationship beginning, although disguised as something much less beautiful. This partial match definitely weighs on your future. The inversion of the liar leads me to believe that you have already made contact with the assassin. Is this true?
I had a hunch, but this would certainly confirm it.
Then I trust you have your answer.
Thank you very much.
Go in peace.
Be safe. Guys, she did some really weird things. She like strangled a lizard in front of me.
Oh yeah.
Is that your kink?
Sounds like we're gonna have some problems.
Okay, so next in line, I believe, was Mr. Phrog. Mr. Phrog,
Hey.
would you like yours to be private, or would you mind sharing with the class?
I don't mind sharing with the class, I guess.
Okay.
The class doesn't mind.
Erikson definitely doesn't want to do it alone. And Rob, how do you feel? Do you want it to be private or public?
It can be in the open. Are we asking about our future? Or what are we asking about here exactly?
Well, that's actually up to you entirely.
Okay.
You'll see why for the people who go ahead of you. And
Okay.
Mharia also doesn't seem to care one way or another. She is choosing to remain oddly silent and making no other comments in Madame Mvashti's presence.
Okay.
So, seated on the couch, Madame Mvashti brings the rest of you in. In her quiet, fragile voice, she turns with eyes closed to Phrog and asks you, "What is your question? What do you seek?"
What is the unladen velocity of a swallow?
Of an unladen swallow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Past, present, future, decisions, quandaries.
Is there another?
Oh, he muted.
One of the easiest things that you can ask a fortune teller is, can you reveal my destiny? So you could just do that.
All
Like,
right.
if you even believe in that.
I would assume my character does to some degree. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
And you know, Pharasma's got the magic domains power.
Yep. So,
Let's do that. Let's ask her my destiny.
yeah, so Phrog is choking up a little bit, and he switches seats with you.
Okay,
How about
so-
that?
Yeah, just to move this along a little bit at least.
You wish your destiny to be revealed to you.
Not really, but sure, let's go with it.
For this, you seek the wisdom of the
Oh, boy.
stars.
Oh boy, my wisdom's shit.
That's okay. Luckily, it doesn't depend on you. So, the choice card, the target card that has been revealed for you for your destiny, and the spread will be related to your destiny, is the Winged Serpent.
Yeah.
A powerful being. Knowledge and prudence are separate keeps bridged by understanding. The coatl represents this bridge, knowing whether now is the time to strike.
Okay.
So this, I think, is particularly poignant and relevant to your character, since you are a font of knowledge and a dry well of understanding.
Thanks.
As for
Uh,
the revelation of your destiny, we draw the cards.
dun dun dun. That's a lot of cards.
And in this, first, the eye is drawn to the true match, the avalanche. In your destiny, disaster lurks.
Oh great.
It is an unthinking, unreasoning thing that overruns all who get in its way. It can represent physical disaster, or the disaster that comes from a panicked crowd or other unthinking group or entity.
How do we know it comes from that?
There is actually magic in the cards. If you use your detect magic ability, which you might. I don't know how skeptical you might be, since magic is real and you use it. But,
Yep.
you know, you might be interested at the inner workings. And there is actually strong divination magic emanating from the cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
But
accurate
why
it
that
is.
card of all these 6 cards?
9, but that's okay. Close enough.
9. I can't
Oh.
count.
It's all right.
See, that's
So-
a trick. He never learned his numbers, but he's really good at his letters.
So it would seem to me then that this impending disaster that lurks somewhere ahead in your fate, and also in your past, based on the position of this card, there was a huge disaster in your past, but the disaster which is to come will be based not on your lack of knowledge, but on a lack of prudence. You must find a way to make the better decisions you need to make. That may come in the form of trusting those who may know better. It may come in the form of developing that ability for yourself.
I would say probably with my abysmal score, I'd probably say just trusting others.
Trusting others is often a good choice. The eye is also drawn to a partial match of the eclipse. Self-doubt and loss of purpose. This card afflicts those with faith in the divine, as their talents can wane under this stress. It can also indicate a loss of way along a path. However,
But
this
it's
card
misaligned, isn't it?
is misaligned.
Yeah.
An unheralded ability coming to the fore, where a concealed location will be revealed.
That's a good thing, right?
It is, because perhaps That or whom you must trust in order to gain the prudence you need to avoid disaster is yet to be revealed. And this partial match has particular poignancy on your future relevance. Illusions and false dreams in the carnival. This card can heighten the power of the arcane, but depending on such whimsical forces, can be risky. For others, this card depicts imprudent plans or unrealistic ambitions.
All the power.
I see in your eyes that you focus and react to the power, but you might miss the warning. Be careful. Trust in the prudence of those who know better, for your own imprudent plans will lead to disaster.
Okay. So don't trust my own plans and trust in others. Got it.
Here's hoping they know best, right?
Yep.
What a very wizard fate, by the way.
Right? I know, right? Like I said, I've been practicing this all freaking week.
Don't quit your day job.
Luckily for you, I don't have a day job.
Canadians.
I know, right?
No day job.
Bastards.
This is the dude in Florida with a bunch of old
Hey,
people.
I
in
have a
it.
day job.
Yeah, 2 if I'm not mistaken. So.
Technically, yes, too. One is only on Saturdays, but yes.
That all counts. It adds complexity to your life. That's stressful.
Yeah.
We will go with Erikson since Phrog is still indisposed. Is that right, Phrog? Yes, Phrog is still indisposed. So we will
He
move on
nodded
to
agreement.
Erikson. What do we think Mr. Dwarf Paladin, who has basically no revealed personality and no revealed goal, would like to know about?
Will the nightmares ever stop?
What nightmares?
The murders.
What
What murders?
the fuck am I doing here?
Go. Up.
I don't know. What do you think? Like in all seriousness, something that that Vulcan would appreciate.
Unfortunately, I don't know anything about his backstory. But he's a gunslinging paladin.
From Janderhof. So he is from Verzia.
From Jackerhoff? What?
Yeah, Janderhof.
Jacker off. Oh no.
This trainee shit's going too far. Jack her off. Goodness gracious.
No, thank you. I'm not judging that old lady.
Well, knowing him, he might want to build something. And he is a paladin, so he might ask if he ever makes something of his life.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, okay. So, Erikson asks, what shall I make with my life? For the making, for a dwarf, this will require a hammer. Strength, a suit of hammers. And it turns up the Paladin. The card slams down onto the table with a thunderous smash, and after the thunderous smash wanes, you can still hear the ringing ting, as if a hammer on an anvil.
Ding, ding.
The might of Torag is strong with you, dwarf. Symbolizing standing strong in the face of adversity, the Paladin does not back down under any circumstances. This card usually indicates the need to stay the course or do what one knows is right, even if it takes a heavy toll. So, what will you make of your life?
Yep. We just bluffed the frog.
Ah, okay. Oh, that is concerning.
Yep.
Oh no, the gator.
A true match. The card of dominance and mind control. The creature sitting serenely upon the back of the slave indicates an exterior force imposing itself upon another being's mind. On occasion, the slavery is literal, but more often it is mental enslavement to a force or idea. What you make of your life will be informed by your own liberation in some sense. You, knowingly or unknowingly, are kept captive by something within your own soul. You will make nothing of your life but ruin until you free it. A partial match shows itself in the present. The joke shows a terror that must be overcome, but not by physical means, as much as you might want to, Master Dwarf. This monster can only be defeated by trickery or artifice. This can represent the value of humor in finding the way past a difficult person or task. What you will make of your life will have everything to do with putting yourself in a situation where you must cleverly build something to overcome that obstacle. And the last partial match. Love at its most treacherous. The liar. This is not the love that moves mountains. This is the love that rips the heart in two and causes lovers to leap to their deaths. This labia can mean obsession, unrequited passion, or doomed love. The obstacle that you will face will have to do with someone's, maybe not your own's, destructive obsession. You will build something to overcome it. Erikson seems satisfied.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. If I do say so myself.
Since you did it all yourself, yes.
Oh boy, he's got a yonder, eh?
Oh, geez. This is skipping ahead to Mharia then. Yeah. So with Mharia, well, we're not gonna need that. Because when it comes to Mharia's turn, Mharia, she considers for a moment, and then she asks a very simple question. How best can I help him? No other details are given. Madame Mvashti doesn't ask for any. She begins shuffling the cards as normal. As she reaches for a target card, she draws it out, and it smolders black in her hand. Surprised, and possibly with scorched fingers, she drops all the cards down onto the table. The cards all smolder, then they suddenly burst into flames. Mharia stares out the window. The table bursts into flames.
Oh god. I help put the fire out.
As you, immediately as you get up and reach to help, the fires engulf you as well.
Oh
and everyone
god.
else in the room, and the room entirely.
Lovely.
There's a rumbling sound under our feet. And you can't quite hear the word, but you have this sensation of deep, old, aching pain. And a single word rattles through your mind. Destroy. And all of a sudden, everything's back to normal. Except Madame Mvashti is on the floor.
Uh-oh.
Mharia, awoken from her trance at the sudden breaking of this illusion or whatever it was, turns to her, along with the rest of you, to make sure that she's okay. She's in a coma. When her eyes are opened, they are scanning back and forth, up and down, as if crazed.
Would it be like a diplomacy check to like try and calm her down, or?
Yeah, well, you can try. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem that anything is going to help. Madame Mvashti's assistant comes rushing down from the upstairs to see what's going on, and Mharia smirks at her and says, "I guess my fate is still hidden," and walks out.
Okay then.
We're gonna need to have a talk with her later tonight.
Good luck at getting anything out of her.
Yeah, Mr. Paladin isn't too pleased about what's going on, but he has some questions as well. But I am not going to roleplay with myself.
Ew.
Back to town.
So apparently nothing was engulfed in flames. It's just a vision.
Yes.
Okay.
However, the effect on Madame Mvashti,
It's not
very
so-
much real.
So she's just like horrified, crazed.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. They called for Father Xantus, but she appears to be okay. Like, she's alive. She's not dying, despite her incredible age. She's just apparently experienced something so horrifying that she doesn't her brain doesn't dare allow her to waken.
Okay.
Moving on, outside Madame Mvashti's house, you are greeted. Does anyone want to say or do anything before we move on?
Well, I just realized we went to go ask her questions, but we can't do that now.
Yeah, probably not. She's not in a talking mood.
So sad.
Oh, you know, she was like 100 or something. Well, I guess if anyone doesn't really have anything, I got some places we can stop by.
Indeed. You have the option, because where you are on Festival Street is there is Aldern. Aldern is walking down the street towards you, but he hasn't seen you yet, so you can avoid him if you don't wish to interact with him again so soon.
Who's Alden?
Aldern is the nobleman that you guys that they saved from the goblins at the North Gate.
Oh, okay.
Alright, hold up. Change of plan, boys. I'm gonna, like, direct the party to where, like, Aldern doesn't detect us.
Okay.
And...
So you, like, duck into an alley?
Yep. And I wanna... I'm gonna tell everybody that, I've got a special interest in this man. I'm gonna see where he's gonna go. And I'm gonna try to, like, tail him, see where he's gonna go.
A special interest in Aldern? Oh my.
Alright, so I'm gonna probably need to make a stealth check.
No. You guys duck behind a building and you're completely covered.
Okay.
He doesn't notice you.
Okay,
He
because I
doesn't get
kind
a
of...
chance to notice you because he wasn't close enough.
Because I kind of want to tail him a little bit.
Oh, well, if you specifically want to do that, well, the party, like, does something else. That's fine.
Hmm. I
Is
guess.
that okay with you, Rob?
Sure.
All right.
Okay. So you guys can wait at Rusty Dragon. He goes to he's going to the Goblin Squash Stables. Let me
So what stables?
It's the name of the stables. Goblin Squash.
Goblin squash. Okay.
Yeah, very creative. Guy really doesn't like goblins. He
Well, you
actually
know, horses don't
offers
like
a
goblins.
5 gold piece reward for every set of matching goblin ears that are brought to him. Like
Matching goblin
sold
ears.
to him. Because it means another goblin dead, generally.
Ah.
And that's how much he hates them. He's willing to put his money where his mouth is. Weaponized racism.
Yep. A little bit.
Number 38. Oh, wow. Yeah, the Goblin Squash stables are right next to the... Okay.
Is that awkward thing of like both parties agree to leave and they both walk the same way?
This is a little strange. Yeah, so you guys hide out in there, and then you watch him go and he orders 5 horses along with full kit.
Kit and caboodle.
What do you think that means?
Oh, 5 horses. He did invite us to a hunt.
Indeed, he did. And he doesn't appear to be renting them. He is buying them.
Mm.
Apparently, he's showing off his wealth. The last you heard, though, he wasn't doing so well. His fortunes were being mainly spent on restoring the old house.
And do I know where this house is?
Yes, yeah, that's easy public knowledge. Yeah, you get that without a check.
Nice. Okay.
Do you simply wish to observe or confront him?
Right now, I just want to observe.
Okay.
Knowing is half
he
the battle,
doesn't-
according to G.I. Joe.
He doesn't take the horses yet. He says that they'll be collected by the town's heroes, hopefully this afternoon for in time for the hunt.
Mm.
And then he leaves from there to go to the inn to wait for you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Very
perfect.
so-
We all tie back up together.
Right. So, do you wish to stay private for now? And like you don't have to go and do the hunt right away if you guys want to talk about things first, and like theorize or anything like that, or perhaps prioritize if you'd rather like try and call off the hunt or delay it to a different day or something like that, so that you can go investigate something else. That's fine, but you should agree on it first.
Mm-hmm.
Although there's currently only half the party signed on, so
Yeah, it's a little difficult to do anything at the moment.
yeah.
Well, the NPCs are 3/5 of a person, so our votes are way outweigh theirs.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
That's
guess-
also true for Mharia, because like I could throw in a vote one way or the other, but then it's like, what's that going to accomplish?
Yeah. But I guess since we're here, I just kind of wanted to see how Amiko's doing and talk about her father who wasn't at the ceremony.
Oh, right, yes. So Amiko is currently in the kitchen.
We're
You
all over.
can.
I have no idea what's going on.
I'm not gonna make the
so-
joke.
What?
Don't
She's
worry
a
about
cook.
it.
She likes being in the kitchen.
Don't worry about it.
So do you guys all go to talk to her? Or Rob, do you want to do something else, or are you going to tag along?
I'll just tag along because I have nothing better to do at the moment that I know of.
Yeah, it'll probably just be me and Rob. We don't need like too many cooks in the kitchen.
And who knows? For all you know, Rob, this could be good observation for teaching you how to make better decisions.
Perhaps.
Yeah,
Amiko
in
could be the
there.
person from your fortune telling. Who knows?
Who knows?
knows?
That's right. You never know. That's kind of how fortune telling goes.
Yep, pretty much. It's very.
Yeah. So
familiar.
Amiko recognizes you at the door to the kitchen, and she waves you in happily. Come, you have to taste this. It's my latest creation.
Oh God.
Oh, I'll give it a taste.
Yeah. So she whips out a tasting spoon and dips it into the sauce. What do you think? She hands it to you.
All right, I tasted.
It's far too sweet and far too spicy for your taste.
Mm.
Well, what do you think?
Admittedly, I've never had a tongue for spice, but it is a bit sweet and spicy. Is this a dish or recipe from outside of Arisia?
Oh, yes. This one's inspired by something I had for dinner many times with my mother when she was still alive, that is. You know, a way to honor her.
Of course, family is important, which is kind of why I wanted to see you, actually.
Oh?
I don't know if you've heard, but due to the goings on of the town right now, me and my companions have been deputized, along with Rob here, and I gestured to him.
Yes, I can see your pins. Congratulations, I suppose.
Well, you know, 100 gold a week isn't too bad, but
Goodness gracious. I'm going to have a word with acting mayor about my taxes.
well, you know, he is now going to be the new acting mayor. Sad about what happened to the previous one.
Indeed, and surprising.
Yes, I heard she was an accomplished adventurer.
Well,
but
not so much an adventurer, but I did duel with her from time to time. She wasn't as good as me, but she was still respectable. Whoever took her down, they must have been very skilled, or they took her out by surprise.
Very lucky, I think is the word we're looking for.
yes, well,
She was somewhat naive in terms of how she approached helping people. If she had a failing, she was far too trusting.
Well, the reason I wanted to come and speak to you is we were just kind of gathering information on the goblin attack at the festival. And I
Indeed.
noticed that your father was not there, or at least I believe it was your father that was supposed to be a speaker.
Yeah, I told them it was a mistake to make him a speaker from the beginning. He's not much for social interactions, and especially not for frivolous events like a festival. I knew that he wasn't going to come. He wasn't really sick. He just didn't want to go. As far as I know, he's fine. I mean, I don't see him all the time, but I mean, I don't think he would have anything to do with a goblin attack.
We just wanted to narrow down everybody, and also just because I wanted to make sure he's okay. I mean, with the recent events, with the shift in power, I understand your father was somewhat of a prominent figure in town.
Yes, well, he does have a seat on the town council, and so when the vote is called for deciding whether or not Titus remains as mayor, which he probably will, to be honest, the whole council will be gathered, and they'll have to vote on it. My father doesn't have much taste for politics and doesn't want to throw his hat in the ring, so to speak. Neither do I. One of the few things we share in common. He'll probably vote to simply maintain the status quo as long as Titus doesn't do too badly of a job, he'll probably get my father's vote. But if you do want to speak to my father on your own to make sure that he's okay, he's either at home or more likely at work at the glassworks. Is it true that you're going to be going on a hunt with Eldern?
Oh, yes. He was rather
he spoke
thankful.
to me about it, and I wasn't too sure, but apparently he wants me to cook up whatever you guys bring back as a free feast for the town.
That actually sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I
If we
mean,
bring anything back.
Eldern is usually, like, he is actually fairly known for his generosity, but he does also love his boar meat, and he often just has it packed up and salted and ready to go. Sharing so much of it, I might think that he's planning on a culling.
So, I've actually been meaning to ask you. I've heard some conflicting things with Eldern. Now, you own a very well-established tavern, so you obviously hear way more than what goes on with the rest of the town. What can you tell me about him?
Personally, I know very little of the details of his life. I know that his family history is marred with tragedy, that's for certain. His grandfather was into something shady, but reliable information going that far back is not widely available. I believe it was the case that his father murdered his mother, and he and his sisters were sent to an orphanage or family wardship, something possibly in Corvosa, though don't quote me on the details. About what he's been doing lately, other than trying to restore the family home to their family home to a livable condition. I know that he was married recently, sort of a spur of the moment thing to some Verzian traveler that he met, but I never got a chance to meet her myself. Last I heard, Aldern was saying she was on vacation in Magnamar. Why do you ask? About Aldern.
I've heard some very interesting things about this man, and, well, I mean, let's be honest. A wealthy, generous man like that is something out of a fairy tale. I just want to see it for myself. And between you and me, that cleric we've been with, I noticed when we first saved him, she attached herself at the hip. If you can pick up what I'm laying down.
Out of character for a moment. Isn't Mharia there with you?
Did she come with us? In that case, I'm going to be whispering into
She's just like,
Amiko's
she's
ear.
like standing there in the doorway, but she's barely paying attention.
Okay, yeah, I'm like leaning in, like whispering in her ear. In that case,
Amiko says,
I'm giving like secret wingman vibes right now.
I don't know one way or the other if Aldern has been tested when it comes to his faithfulness, but I find that far fewer men are unfaithful given the opportunity than is generally assumed.
Oh yeah, what was the name of that place? His supposed wife is on vacation.
Magnamar, the main city to the south.
Okay.
I do miss Magnamar every once in a while. Bustling streets filled with people from all over.
I don't think that could personally be mine. We were, me and my family, we were traveling caravans, you see. Open space. Don't think I could do so well in the city.
No, just I'm getting whined at by dogs. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay.
I know that
gotcha.
life.
Sorry, continue.
Oh no, just that I probably couldn't do well in big cities. Well, with me always having the open air on my back.
And I know how that feels as well.
Well,
Anything else I can help you with?
thank you for all your help. I'm good. I just wanted to check on you and your father.
Hmm.
Like I said, if we lose more prominent people in the city, morale would go way down.
More
That's why.
prominent people? Who else has been lost?
Well, I mean, just like the mayor and the shifting of powers.
Ah. Well, it's okay. I'm sure the council will handle it. The one who I could imagine would definitely vote for Titus would be Madame Mvashti. She's the local representative of the traveling Varisians, and by some miracle, she was granted a vote at the town's founding.
Just the vein grows on my head as I hear that. Hmm.
Is there something wrong?
Oh, no. Is there anything else any of you wanted to say? Or ask him, Amiko?
Erikson tries the food. And
Spicy
then
meatball.
steam starts erupting from his ears. Dwarves don't do well with spicy food, apparently.
It's
Apparently,
potatoes
I
and
thought they
ale.
did. I thought they liked spicy crap.
Depends on where they're from, I guess.
I guess. So.
Rob, did you have anything you wanted to ask?
Not that I can think of.
No? Okay.
Well, in that case, thank you for taking your time to talk with me. We got your hair. Oh, and thank you again for the 1 week stay here at the Rusty Dragon.
Oh, I'm sure you'll make it worth my while. Just make sure to come back tonight with stories of Eldern's bravery in the face of the terrible boars.
Oh, I'm
Oh.
sure there'll be stories.
Okay. Moving on from there. Phrog, are you back now, or what's going on?
Was he here? I got all my sounds turned off.
Yeah, I had to go do something.
No worries, man.
Well, yeah, so we're gonna backtrack and do your reading if that's okay.
All right.
Yeah. And you were fine with it being public, right?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know if you caught what the ending was like, but
Both of.
it was a little. Yeah. So, first thing you must do is ask a question. Any question. Past, present, future, personal, something of interest. It can be specific, it can be vague. It's up to you.
Will God of War Ragnarok ever come out on Steam?
Yeah, really.
Chances are saying unlikely.
Hmm. I have no clue.
I mean, Rob pretty much just asked, what is my destiny? If you
Yeah.
want to go as
So,
big
go
as
with
that.
If you believe in destiny.
Destiny is kind of something you would bend to your own will, depending on what you do.
Mm.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ever
Perhaps-
evolving.
Perhaps you seek an omen, something to look out for, that you may bend to your will with success.
That sounds about like something I would need.
I don't fear the avalanche. I am the avalanche, Zola.
So, you seek an omen which you may bend to your will. with that, we seek the crowns. Oh. The opportunity which bends itself to your will is likely to be related to a great betrayal. The betrayal card is selfishness incarnate. Envy twists the spirit and leads ultimately to devastation. It can also indicate a person whose loveliness hides an evil heart. And we draw. Oh my goodness. 2 true matches related to an omen that you may bend your fate to. And one of them is a true match to your alignment, so we will go with that one first. First, the cricket.
Oh, of
A
course.
Blackout berries in the fridge if you want one.
A creature whose mind is as quick as its body. It represents speed and quick passage. Although the cricket is commonly associated with travel, the peach it sits by represents treasure at the end. This represents the path to the betrayal. You will know you are on the right path when you have traveled a great distance, possibly greater than any you have traveled thus far. And there will be great treasure, the greatest of all treasures, perhaps, when you reach it.
The friends you made along the way.
And this one is also a true match. A driving external force that keeps the subject going no matter what. The teamster. This force can be physical or mental, as a person who exhorts others to continue on when they have no more strength to give. The force can be for good or ill, but cannot be ignored. The half-orc depicted is leading a life of constant toil, but for his own betterment. In this omen that you will bend to your will, it will require you to take on the task of the teamster. Something or someone will require near constant effort and reminding to keep it on the right path, to keep it from going astray.
World.
If you can manage it, remember, great treasure will be yours in the end.
All right.
And what most to look out for, what will trip up your will and cause all of this to turn to ruin if you cannot master the object of the betrayal, is this: the misaligned keep. The keep is normally a symbol of quiet strength, one that can move when necessary yet stand firm through the greatest hardship. Those represented by the keep are not shaken by any force. This is misaligned. Something, possibly you, will give way to temptation, and you may fall in the face of great strength. This is what will trip up your will. This is what will ruin the omen and betray you. It will take hard work to stay on the path. Do you have the endurance?
I sure hope so.
So, that is to be your fate.
Aw.
Now, after that, after everyone has concluded their reading, there was an eruption of flames, and the whole house and everyone was engulfed in this conflagration. Ultimately, it turned out to be an illusion, which happened to correlate with when Madame Mvashti was trying to read Mharia's future. Madame Mvashti is now in some sort of madness-induced coma. So, who's in the mood for a boar hunt?
One thing there, I want to do that before going to bed. Or pretty much after I'm done talking to Amiko.
Hmm. Sorry, I don't think I heard all of what you said.
Oh, I didn't. I look in the Roll20 chat.
Oh, yes. Yeah, she, Mharia, nods to you in understanding and smirks in a way that leaves you with no idea what she intends.
I have a feeling I'm going to regret
Good job.
this.
That clears up absolutely nothing.
Don't worry about it.
You know
I
what the
worry.
funny thing is? When someone says, you can trust me, if you can't trust them, you also can't trust them when they say you can trust me.
Yep, pretty much.
Maria turns to you and says, you can trust me.
Copper for every time
Oh,
I've
boy.
heard that, and it turned out bad.
Hence the
So-
motive.
Do we go with that, or do we go with the boar hunt or something else?
I'm down for the boar hunt. How about you guys?
Why not?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
What else?
Aldern
We were
catches-
invited.
Yep.
He's expecting us.
Aldern-
He'll be very disappointed if we don't show up.
Catches up to you, and he implores you all to fetch a steed from the stables. He has bought you, not rented, purchased each of you a size appropriate mount.
Oh, thank God.
It is a hunting mount, which means it is combat trained.
Yay.
I can't buy like some
So-
satchels and
You mean
shit
no
for that, man.
mudsliding today?
No mudsliding today.
I'm like 2
Ah.
daggers away from being
Ooh.
from taking encumbrance penalties.
For you, Mr. Phrog, yours is the most unique, since the stabler there, I think his name is Mr. Hosk. He trains riding dogs for the traveling halflings. So he already has a formidable mount in your size. So you'll be getting
That's
a
a dog.
riding dog.
Yay.
Now, a riding dog is not like, like a husky or something like that. Imagine something like something like a Cane Corso, a big thick mastiff, something with a fair amount of muscle, but like 5 feet tall at the shoulder.
Jesus.
Riding
So-
dogs are
Wow.
fucking scary.
So what you're saying is our frog Viking now has a dire wolf.
Yippee.
He's riding a
except
wolf
that
into
it's,
combat.
It's bred for the milder Varisian weather, so it isn't as resilient to cold or hot weather. It does, however, have endurance as a bonus feat, so it can go farther and longer.
That's
No.
what they said.
The rest of us have standard heavy war horses,
Wait, hold
heavy
on.
combat trained war horses.
That's what she said. Okay.
What? What?
I was pointing towards our cleric
Oh, okay.
with the arrow.
I don't get it. Something's gone over my head. Communication error.
That's what she said. Joke.
Yeah,
Can
I
go
don't get
long
it.
and hard.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Bardic. Next level, I'm going to go bard. Bardic performance puns. Make everybody angry. Puns and bad jokes.
Oh, boy.
Well, that's okay. Everybody's got to have a thing.
And his thing is driving everybody possibly fucking insane.
Well,
Meanwhile, the angry frog turns on Hawk, getting a nat 20, proceeding to get another nat 20.
it's amazing how many nat 20s you can roll when no one's watching, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Especially when nobody's watching.
What color should I
man.
go with, man?
Hey man, I knew a a hobgoblin guy that is like got an arranged marriage, and he just made like an offhand joke, "Want to fuck?" Because there's like their wedding night, and he rolled a nat 20.
Ugh.
That's diplomacy.
Well, that's I think that's going to be an auto fail for me, dog.
It
Because first off, natural 20 doesn't automatically succeed on skill checks. So
was just funny enough that they let it slide.
okay, so we've got Aldern here, and who else have we got? Right, we've got this guy, and another one of this guy, and another one of this guy. Because Aldern has also brought 3 manservants.
Hey,
Okay.
More.
Indeed. So Aldern basically spends he meets up with you guys and he asks you, how you're doing, are you ready, and all that. And he facilitates you, with your mounts and everything. And then it only takes about half an hour of riding casually to get to the Tickwood. A little bit
what?
of background. The Tickwood.
Okay.
So Tickwood is basically a privately owned forest. It's owned by a hunting club, a Magnamarian hunting club, and it's actually a point of, shall we say, ecological tension, because they keep it well stocked with boar, like feral pigs, essentially, and they actually cause a lot of problems for the surrounding countryside and other woods that aren't privately owned. So this is actually, yeah. So as you guys are approaching it, it's he just goes on and on about trying to puff himself up a little bit about how many successful hunts he's had here. Those of you with any knowledge of the area, well, it's pretty odd not to be successful hunting boar in a place where boar are essentially farmed here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sense
You
motive.
have to
I
fight
want
them.
to see how much of this is bluster. 14.
Yeah. Well, a fair amount of it is bluster. However, he does seem to know his way around a boar spear. So, and his manservants each have crossbows ready to go to help out.
Well, that's good. And not aimed at us, right?
No.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
So, yeah, he also asks you all about your your personal histories and your advice on being big damn heroes and all that, and how you can come face to face with the terrifying goblins and not just be scared out of your wits and things like that.
I would think honestly the boars are more terrifying.
Well, I grew up in one of the many Varisian caravans, so, and with goblins being so common in the area, we've learned to
Being so what?
handle ourselves out there.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Is that
about as tall as they are.
I'm small, I gotta learn to defend myself.
Yeah, honestly, it's the only equal fight I ever get.
Right.
Meanwhile, we look over to Erikson. I got this gun.
Gun go boom.
Yeah,
Gun good. Gun very good.
it's point and die.
Glad we established that.
And where are we? There they are. Perfect. So, all of a sudden, Aldern calls for the halt, and everyone is allowed to make perception checks.
Oh, yeah. What even is my perception?
I have no idea.
Maybe it's a 4. Did I take a stat and put 2 perception?
That is a good question. Let me double check for you.
All right, let me do this. Is it fun?
I got a 13.
Okay.
I got a 2.
Oh, Rob, hold on, sweetie. You're on your horse backwards again.
What?
Hang on, there it is. Look.
-1
Real-
perception. Oh, there you go. You rolled a 2. Nice.
It's okay. I'm still holding the record for rolling a -3.
I'm
Handsome
telling you, those skeletons.
1 second. Let's get you going here.
Who's your friend? I said it.
Oh, Mharia does okay. Of course. And
Damn those wisdom-based builds. Wisdom classes.
I have not exactly a wisdom based build here.
Yeah. Mhm.
oh my
Like-
god. Yeah, so there's a lot of low rolls on perception here, but Mharia thankfully got high enough. Who says,
Not a funny looking cloud.
"Did anyone else notice that we are surrounded by boar?"
Surrounded.
Where?
Where bear?
So
Where?
now
What's a
that-
boar?
now that she's pointed them out, like as soon as you see one, your mind helps you pick out the others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good because I can't see a single damn thing apparently.
I might have rolled a 2 for 2 eyes, but they don't work.
Well, you got one eye, remember? You got the eye patch.
Oh
on
yeah, good.
on either side of the path that you guys are following, in the trees and the bushes, there are
Oh.
snorting sounds of challenge, and it
Okay.
seems that they're just waiting for someone to make the first move. Aldern looks quite surprised. And he's normally not encountering more than one at a time. They tend not to, especially the males, they tend not to work in teams at all unless they're facing a food shortage, which they just might be, since they've been allowed to proliferate here.
Yippee.
So, you have
Roll
been
diplomacy.
alerted. Mharia has spoiled their surprise, so we will start on even initiative in this fight.
Alrighty. Let's see here.
So we've got the turn order open here.
Let me click my character. Damn
Yo,
it!
an 11.
So plus your dexterity modifier would be what, 13?
2. Yeah, I think 13.
13 sounds right to me.
How unfortunate.
Yeah, I think it's 13.
And let's see. We've got some boar. Oh, thankfully the boar only has a plus 0.
Yep.
Rob got a 7.
Hey, me too, buddy.
Well, your bonus is higher, so you'll be going first. What did I roll? Oh, Mharia. No, that wasn't meant to be Mharia. That was the initiative for the boar. They rolled 15. So
Fantastic.
currently-
Yeah, hey. The figures. I'm so dead.
Well, maybe. We've got extra targets there in the form of manservants.
How many of us are there in total?
9.
9. Okay.
and there
How
are
many
6
more?
of them.
Okay.
How close is the nearest one?
The closest one to you is right here, 25 feet away.
Okay.
But there's
Oh boy.
10 feet of difficult terrain.
So that takes up double the movement speed, right?
It would, yes. And you also can't run or charge through it. Well, you
Okay.
can't charge through it, yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, what was I doing? Oh, yeah. I needed to add my
look at Ziggy.
cleric to the initiative.
Quick question, Rob. Can you see the turn order?
Hmm?
Because all I see is the words turn order
Yeah, I know.
on the
But
initiative table.
he's like posing right on top of it. It's cute.
Well, no, I mean, like, I can't see, like, turn order if it's set. I don't know if it is for you.
Or Rob? Yeah, Rob's set
Yes.
at 20
Oh, wow,
or at
7.
7. Yeah, for some reason when I rolled it went on yours. I guess because I had yours selected.
Well, no, what I'm saying is I don't see anything on the turn order. All I see is it just says turn order and it's the black box around it. I don't, like, see any people on it. I didn't know if it was
maybe,
set or not yet.
Try to reload roll 20 maybe.
Yeah, I'm seeing it just fine.
Alright, here we go.
I'll be honest, I'm not seeing much at all.
Well, yes, you have a good excuse, so we're not.
Okay, there it goes.
You got it?
Yep.
And
Yes, I
oh
noted
yeah, I need to
myself
roll
out.
for Erikson as well.
Hey.
And Erikson got 9.
Is that
God.
no or yes?
We're doing real good, guys. We're great at hunting.
Right.
It's alright, we're
Next.
just saving all the rolls for all our, like, critical hits and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Oh my God. All the shit
Oh my
I
God.
did this week, and I forgot to fucking draw up the stats for Aldern. Oh wait, no, never mind. I didn't forget. There was actually a good reason.
He's a little bitch that just
die.
faints.
I mean,
Oh no. Is that actually going to be the thing? He
Like,
faints
yeah,
again.
something.
All you need
What
is the
the hell is
HP
going
pool.
no, wait, no, that's not right.
Right, now this one goes to this one.
I need the
This one goes here.
manservants.
And
Ooh.
actually,
Yes.
I should keep my D8.
Warriors.
I'll keep my 8 out.
They have net
And
I mean, all you pretty
I need
much
a
need is
D10.
your
Wait,
weapons.
I already pulled out a.
Which-
Yeah, okay, I pulled out the 10. I need an 8.
Oh wow.
Here we go.
So you might need to scroll down a little bit. Oh well, no, because the thing changes. But the manservants got 18. So
Yes.
Mharia and the
Oh, I-
manservants get to act before the boars.
Well, that's good.
All
they
hope
can
is not
shout.
lost.
Completely.
However,
We're doomed.
top of the initiative is Aldern.
Well, I mean, he did boast that he's really good at this, so.
Who flees?
That's why he's running away.
He turns tail and runs.
Bruh.
Bro.
What the heck?
Yeah, and like for good measure, he literally throws his spear down, grabs the reins with both hands, and just fucking bolts on his horse. He's gone.
Okay.
Of course.
Well, looking at it, it might not be a bad idea because he's kind of outside of the encircling boars.
And also, who wants to share experience with a 7th level character, right? Fuck him.
Fuck that guy.
True.
We're the protagonists. All of us, not him.
Yeah, the men servants are absolutely stunned by the incredible act of cowardice they just witnessed. They sort of look at each other and guess we're fired.
You don't get paid enough for this
Reassign.
shit.
Yeah. Mharia. What does Mharia do? Mharia begins casting a spell. And sort of drifts her mount into the center where Aldern was. And she stares daggers at Aldern as he left, but doesn't let that break her concentration. For those of you in the know, she is casting a summoning spell.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right on. Boy,
Because
do I look foolish.
numbers are good.
Yes.
She also unfurls her whip, ready to use it if and when she
Whip
can.
nay.
Oh, hey, she can do that because she actually has a horse that goes neigh.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Watch me
sorry.
wham.
I can't stop.
The men servants also get to go. So, the men servants have their crossbows already strung. Each of them slaps down a bolt, aims, and fires. This one can shoot. Yes, so this one is going to shoot this one. I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
For those of you that can see. And then this one is going to shoot this one. And this one is going to shoot this one.
Editor's note. I put in my notes, brave Sir Aldern bravely ran away.
Yeah, he wasn't too brave about it.
Well, clearly not.
Brave
He
Sir
just
Robin.
scampered on out of here.
You know how when someone is galloping on a horse, they're it's almost like they're standing in the saddle?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see a brown stain on his backside.
Oh.
Good to know.
Yeah,
It's
I figured you'd want to know.
It's physically hurt
Not
Zola.
really.
Important information, goddammit. Anyway,
Only to you.
first attack is a miss. Second attack. Oh, that might... Nope, definitely misses. And third attack also misses.
Fantastic.
I look at them first time.
Yeah, they all just sort of shrug and reload. Well, like, doing the combat thing. Okay. Well, that's the as if Aldern turning tail and running wasn't trigger enough, them being attacked has caused them to squeal in outrage and charge in for the kill. Because
Lovely.
they're hungry, and you all look tasty.
Apparently.
Probably
Right.
especially me.
Well, maybe. I don't know if pigs... Well, pigs will eat literally anything, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Hannibal. They'll eat pig. Oh, man, if they're hungry enough.
You'll... let's
They
see.
bite into
Oh, look
Erik
at that.
Phrog and he
They have
squeaks.
40 feet base speed. Isn't that fucking delightful? So, yeah, they can... Even the ones that are farthest away can reach no problem. Even through the
Awesome.
difficult terrain. Except this one. Because this one needs to go around. Yeah, so one of them, this one, moves into a better position so that he can charge the next round if there's a free place. This one will charge... let me just do a little measurement here because it needs to be the closest square. Yeah, thought so. Seems pretty obvious. Charge that one. This one has a clear shot to charge you because this is a tree. So
Got
the only
toward that
difficult terrain
tree.
is here. Yeah, that's a tree, so it's able to charge under the brush and get to Zola's mount.
God damn it.
This one.
Using my own tactic against me.
Yeah. This one will go for Erikson. This one comes right through, going straight for the wizard.
Great.
Indeed. Well, just bad luck in terms of positioning, but I'm sure it'll even out. Okay. So, Okay, the charge on the manservant. I'll switch back to GM for this. Is a hit on the manservant. And one of the manservants. Oh no, he's still up. So the manservant has been gored. He has a grievous bleeding wound on his thigh.
Dude.
Poor dude. Yeah,
Sounds
for some-
healthy.
that one jumped and ignored the horse. The next one goes for Zola's horse
No, I need this horse.
and misses.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, your horse was also quite alert to the danger. The other one charges you specifically. It comes off of a bit of a hill, like a bit of a decline, and it jumps right at you, like right at your front, and misses.
Whew.
And because of that jump and not hitting you, not being able to slow down, as it drops to the ground in front of you, it actually takes falling damage.
Nice.
Because boars are stupid and can hurt themselves. And it takes 6 damage because it got tripped somehow. Holy shit.
It falls neck first on a rock. He just dies.
Right? Like, fuck, something like that. And I will mark
Boars
this
would help
one
somehow.
as damaged. So you can see that red dot, right?
Yep.
Okay, so just to show that it has been
Barely.
damaged previously. This one goes for Erikson or his horse. Erikson or his horse. We'll go with the horse.
They don't know about the boomstick yet.
Bitches don't know about his boomstick.
Shop smart. Shop S smart.
You got it. Heavy war. Because I forgot to bring up your stats. I'm dumb. Oh, they're not all that hard to hit. It's their large size. Too bad. So sad. His horse takes a hit. A pretty good one, actually.
Well, you know, I've
And,
never,
but-
I've never known a horse or a dwarf to like horses. So
Well, that may change because this is a war horse and it doesn't, throw him off and try to run away. This horse is going for revenge.
okay, yeah, that sounds like something Vulcan would do.
As for Mr. Rob, it doesn't go for you, it goes for your horse.
Well, that's good.
A lightning bug in my room. What's up, homie?
Oh. That's unfortunate.
No shit.
Natural 20. Threat for a crit on the horse.
Great. So I don't have all. Nope, misses.
Okay. It does not confirm the critical hit. It is a standard hit.
Thank God for that.
And only
Heard
7
that.
damage. So here's what's going to happen on your turn, Rob. Okay?
Yep.
Your horse is pissed off and it's going to attack. If you try to cast a spell, you're going to have to make a concentration check or lose the spell.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Well.
What's next? I think that was all of them. Because the other one back there just moved into position to charge next turn.
Yeah, he's revving up.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So next is Mr. Phrog.
Oh boy. So the one that is looking to attack, how far away is that? Is it too far away?
It's too far away. You have one right next to you that's attacking the wizard, and you have
Okay.
actually technically they're flanking you, because there's you're right next to Erikson.
Okay. I guess I can take care of that one.
The
Who
one
is-
attacking Erikson or the wizard.
The wizard.
Thank you. I was gonna say the wizard's a little more squishy, so please help.
Yeah.
Yeah, Erikson's pretty damn
mean-
tough. He's already
Alright.
has like 21 hit points, so he can take it.
Jesus.
Someone do that.
Not so much.
You know, I'm out here 16. I'm on the par with the wizard. God damn it.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I mean, he was
Yeah.
smart enough to put 14 in his con, but he's got stamina.
Yeah, I'm not totally defenseless, but I'm just squishy.
Yeah, I mean, you're a
Alright,
wizard. All
so
you
I'm gonna
need to
go
do is
ahead
put
and
in
use.
int and defenses.
Obviously, I'm gonna use my battle axe. So
And I
15!
assume, yep, I assume you would have war painted before this if you wanted to use that, but if not, that's fine.
Since I didn't think about it, I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
Okay. But yeah, 15 on its own is going to hit a boar. So
Okay. That is 1d10. So I have one of them. I got
Yeah.
4 plus. Do I get a damage buff?
your damage bonus with your axe should be +3.
Okay.
There's
So 4
no
plus.
yeah, there's no damage bonus from levels for you.
That's what I. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
couldn't remember if I had one passively.
Yeah, like for most characters, that's what it is.
Okay, I rolled
Oh,
a 4 on damage,
oh, peace. Pete.
Alrighty.
or natural 4.
Yeah, so you roll 7 damage.
7
Yeah.
damage. Okay. And this one has been damaged. There we go. So we have 2 damaged boars so far. Do you want to move? Do you want to maneuver to a different position?
You said I was flanked, right?
Yeah. So like you can.
Yeah,
you
I
can,
do.
You can move away from the wizard, easily enough, and then continue attacking the other guy, like the other boar.
Right.
You can't really move very easily to on the other
Continue
one because
attacking.
there's
Yeah.
bushes there. It's difficult terrain.
Okay, I'll go towards the other one.
Okay. Which will likely help set up a flank with Zola if she so chooses.
Yep.
Your horse is going to attack the one that it saw charge at Erikson.
Okay. My dog.
So- oh yeah, sorry, your dog. Right, dog.
Dog.
Dog. Who I gave the endurance feat for free. Because it gets a -2, gets a -4 penalty on climate-related checks. Its bite attack is +3 if you want to roll it.
Alright. Do you want me to roll 20 first?
Yep.
Okay. I got actually a nat 20.
There you go. Okay, roll to confirm.
I'm not making this up.
Oh, bring in the camera closer so we can see it. Hey, there you go, buddy.
Oh, wait, was that
We're gonna
2?
leave it to the dog. That was
Oh.
2 20s.
Oh, damn.
All right.
Do I
so,
go ahead and roll?
Yeah. So you got a So I use an optional rule, which is brutal criticals. So if you roll a double critical, we add an extra multiplier. So normally it would be ×2. This will be a ×3.
Okay.
So 1d6 plus 3. You can roll 3d6 if you want. Or we can just multiply.
3d6 sounds fine. I don't have a 6-sided, do I? Wait, the regular
you-
dice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you not
How do
have
you not
one?
have a 6-sided dice? The most common kind of dice there is.
All right.
I mean, actually, I got a 1, a 5, and a 3. So 9.
9 plus 9 is 18. And that will...
Kill one of them.
Yeah, that doesn't actually drop it because it's a boar. And it keeps fighting until it's dead.
Damn.
Even though it's disabled.
Okay.
So
We're all
you're,
thinking it.
What?
Yeah, we're all thinking it. Disabled.
Or cups.
What do I want to put for that? Okay, I'm just gonna put the X on it to show that it's near death, that it's
Okay.
in like, yeah, disabled, negative hit points, whatever. That has the ferocity ability. Well, that was a very productive turn. You got one hit and one mega crit. So,
A
Yeah,
very
I
angry
mean-
dog.
actually, your dog gets to make a combat maneuver check. So you got to roll another d20 because it gets a free trip attack.
16.
So 16 combat maneuver bonus is +4. Oh no, sorry, +3. So 19.
19.
And oh yeah, you beat it by 1. So this boar, in addition to the massive critical, has been tripped, and it is extra vulnerable. Good job. That was an incredible turn.
All right, going for the best today.
Right? There you go. All right. Followed up, your turn is followed by Erikson. And Erikson's mount will stamp the shit out of that fallen boar. While Erikson goes, go for us, trying to get a clear shot while his horse is going fucking apeshit.
Oh, okay.
I can't fucking shoot!
So this will be for the bite. Oh, the bite will miss. Hoof is, what was the hoof? Hoof. Right, no. Hoof is this one. Oh, we got a threat for a crit on one hoof. That does not. Oh, that does confirm because of the prone, which is an extra +4. So we have a critical hoof attack.
This
Go.
boar is having such an awful day.
I think it's going to stomp its nuts off. But we'll see. Hmm. Roll. 15 damage. This boar is
Wow.
kaput.
It is definitely not having a good time.
Takes a lot to take these bastards down, but they're worth a lot. Trust me, bros. And there we go. So there's one done. Erikson. Instead of fighting to get a clear shot, he does that for about half a second and realizes that it's absolutely futile and attempts an untrained fast dismount. And fucking succeeds!
Oh, that's present.
Oh,
Another dwarf that doesn't like horses.
That's news on the game.
Well, that's pretty fucking good. With all of them so close, he can't exactly move. So where is he gonna go? He is going to protect Mharia's other side. So he's
Say-
standing here.
Third person shooter.
And oh right, I forgot to actually put the horses on the map.
Yeah. Did you want to try that?
What's
I
up?
wonder.
No. Oh, okay.
oh, he's talking to somebody on his end.
Yeah, sorry.
Do I have the... Oh no, okay, I did prepare. So I can put that one there.
I'll say also, you could probably just like type in horse and like, what is that? The art library.
Oh yeah. Good point. Well, in either case, Erikson was able to do that. So he will, as part of that move action, draw his sword and try and stab this one.
Just flies through the air with a short sword in hand. It comes down on the boar.
Shooting point blank is actually not a good idea. It opens you up to an attack of opportunity
I know.
from a wild animal. And let's see what he gets. And he hits. Man, Even when he's absent, he rolls amazing.
Yep.
Not so
How
much
it
for
is.
damage though.
Absolute shit in every other circumstance. Combat, just absurd.
Yeah.
I don't think you were there, Zito, when Vulcan was introduced in the last campaign, where he was fighting a dire wolf at level 1 with the party. He came in charging, crit, and just
Oh, wow.
killed the dire wolf in one hit.
Yeah, that's a good way to be introduced.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for that, but that's a very good way to be introduced. That's for sure. Zola. it is your
Alright.
turn.
I'm gonna... Will I take any penalties for pulling out 2 swords while mounted?
That is a very good question. Technically, drawing a weapon is a free action as part of a move action. So if you dismount, you can draw both.
I might do that. That's like my entire character.
Or you can just spend a move action, stay mounted, and draw both. So you can do either, actually.
1,200
Alright,
hours,
so...
really.
I'll probably just take out my swords. And then, with my standard, just take a swing
1,200 hours.
at that boy
What's
right there.
1,200 hours?
Just how long somebody's been playing a certain game.
Yeah. That's normal, isn't it?
Yeah,
it?
sure.
Actually,
Sounds like
12,
that.
1,200?
That's how many hours I have in like Siege.
Is that game?
Alright.
Right.
Plus
So let me
5.
double check. Where am I at in Stellaris?
I don't know if I want to know that.
Oh, short sword.
2,130 hours.
That's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
I rolled a 12.
I don't even play Path of Exile anymore, but I've got 3,300 hours in that.
One day I will hit.
You got a 12. Wait, which one did you attack? This one?
Yep.
It charged. So it has a -2 AC. You hit.
Oh, thank God.
No,
Yippee!
no sneak attack, but it's still a hit.
3.
3. It has been damaged again. Oops. There we go. And your horse. Its attacks are at +5 if you
Alrighty.
want to roll them.
These are some angry horses. 22.
Yeah, 22 will definitely hit. That's with the bite.
Alright.
So that's 1d4 plus 5.
Hmm.
Yeah, heavy war horses have 20 strength.
8.
Nice. So, that one's looking pretty damaged. Whoa, what did I do? I did something wrong. Oh, God. No. There. Okay, I fixed it. There we go. Good. That's all you're doing this turn, Zola? Or did
Pretty
you want
much,
to
yeah.
move, like 5-foot step, anything like that?
No, I think I'm good where I'm at.
Okay, you're good where you're at. Next is Rob, Mr. Wizard.
Yep.
Would you like your horse to do the attackings first?
Sure.
Okay. So your horse can attack with +5s on
Okay,
the
so
D20 roll.
1d20
So it has.
plus-
Yep. So it actually has. It's going to, because your horse was attacked and damaged, it's going to do a full attack. So it's going to do a bite and then 2 hooves.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of attacks.
It is. They're pretty brutal.
As a wizard, it would behoove you to
Rolls a natural
first stomp the
20
shit
on the
out of
bite.
them.
So you can re-roll that to confirm the critical hit. Bravo.
What are these
Yippee!
horses?
1d20.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, and then a hoof.
Is 1d20 plus what?
Also, I hate the behoove joke.
Yeah, it would behoove you to roll a 1d20 plus 5.
Again?
I feel like
Yep,
Aldern bought like
No, come back.
the
That's another hit.
microtransaction mounts for us. Jesus.
right? Oddly enough, though, that's something that sort of gets glossed over in the original adventure. He does actually buy everyone mounts. It's written in the book.
I'm not complaining.
Yo,
I need it.
at this point, can I have that dog?
Yeah, it's yours.
Sweet.
Gotta keep it alive.
So there's another hoof
I think
attack.
it will
You have
keep
to
me
roll their,
alive.
Yep.
Wow, all 3 attacks hit.
Yep.
Okay, and so
That boar
the
is no
bite,
more.
the bite is 1d4 plus 5. The hooves are 1d6 plus 2. Oh, minimum on the bite.
And then 1d6 plus 2 for the hooves. You
That's
said?
right. Yeah. Oh, another minimum damage. What the fuck? All 3 minimum damage.
Yikes.
Well, still got it.
So,
Hurt that boar.
At least I
pretty significantly.
smacked it a little bit.
Now, here's what to keep in mind. All 3 were minimum damage, but the total was still 12 damage.
On top of what? 6? 7?
Yeah, it was already hit for 7. So it's
13
at
total.
it's at -1. But because it's a fucking boar, it's still fighting.
How is it still fighting at -1?
Boars and certain other species have the ability to basically just get so angry that they can ignore the fact that they're like dying or otherwise paralyzed and just keep fighting until they literally are dead on their feet and then fall over.
Okay.
Literally too angry to die.
It's one of the reasons they're so fucking dangerous. You can skewer them with a spear and like you basically like cut open their liver or something and they'll still just be trying to get at you and gore you.
I mean, in their defense, I'd probably do that too if I was still conscious and getting murdered.
I mean, if you could,
Yeah.
human beings damaged that way would just be unconscious. Now, however, is your turn. You can stay on your horse. You can basically just stay on your horse and wait. You can try to cast a spell, but it will be difficult. Or you can like get off your horse, which I don't necessarily recommend.
Bap him with your
Jump,
stick.
jump, jump, jump.
I'm gonna stay on my horse and try to cast just because I don't. I'm vulnerable.
Okay. What would you like to cast?
Just acid splash or whatever.
Okay. So for that, you will need to roll a concentration check. This is a violent movement, so the DC is going to be 20.
Lovely.
So
Now what do I
for
have
your
to roll?
your concentration check is 1d20 plus your caster level plus your casting stat. So for you, I believe that would be 1d20 plus 7.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Well,
Just
it's still
13
a
or
hard
higher.
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still a pretty damn hard roll. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that does not succeed.
That's alright. Just a cantrip.
Yeah, and honestly, that's a good thing because in order to use that, you would have to make a ranged attack, and that would actually provoke an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah,
From
just
something that's supposed to be dying.
yeah, yep, exactly. Just so you know, it's using
attack of
ranged
opportunity
attacks in
probably
melee
die.
range. Yeah, it provokes an attack of opportunity.
From something that's supposedly dying has his liver cut out. Okay. Good to
Yep. Boars are not fair. They break the rules. They're little bastards.
We pretty much like have to cut their heads off for them to stay down.
Yep. Okay, but that was still a very good turn.
know.
And we are back at the top of the initiative with Mharia. Mharia finishes casting her spell, which is going to be
A boar.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
It'd be really funny though.
Be kind of redundant.
Nah.
I don't actually think she can do that. 1 second. I had it, and then I closed the page, and then I forgot what she was summoning.
You gotta be like
Oh,
me. You gotta
right.
have like 25 tabs open.
A
Yeah.
minimum.
I mean, I do. It's just.
Still not easy.
I need to start using Chrome again.
No, I'm not going to do.
What's up, dude?
Is that going to work? I don't know. I'm trying to drag in a free asset here. Oh, there we go. Got it. So she summons an eagle.
An eagle. Okay.
Yep.
Just a
And
creature.
it's flanking
Bark,
with
bark.
Zola. So it will attack. Eagle. It
Oh my
is the
god, can you
eagle.
hear that rain
Beware.
outside?
I cannot.
What?
It is
Other side.
storming something fierce outside.
Oh, you got what I had last night.
Huh?
Oh
I know.
yay.
I'm just looking at it like, oh wait, I need new shoes.
Oh, miss this guy's teeth.
The
So-
bite will hit. The claw will also, or talon will hit, and a talon will miss. So this one takes 6 more damage from this strange black and red, sort of demonic looking eagle.
Not so majestic now.
That's the what?
Not so majestic now.
No, not so majestic. And Mharia is stuck there in the middle. And what is she going to do? She's going to say to the men servants, can
Dark time.
one of you deal with this thing back there? So stinky. Giving her combat advice to anyone who attacks this one. And then she will also firebolt that one, the very same one. She will launch some fire at it. Good
Alright,
luck.
roasting the boar.
Oh my god. Even with the -4 penalty for the shooting into melee range, like into with all of the different things in the way, that's a natural 20.
Try
And
so hard. I got so far.
it
And I've only
confirms,
hit once.
right?
Yippee!
And nice, an 11 damage on this one that hasn't been hit yet. That's a good opening hit.
Diablo 4?
What's what?
Nothing. No.
Oh, okay. And yeah, that's it. She also used her move action, so she is done. Okay, now it is the men servants. The men servants, unlike you guys, do not have trained mounts. Theirs are
course.
just regular riding horses. So they are very nervous, and they are not making it easy for the men servants to do what it is they need to do. So the men servants do their best to keep their mounts calm, and they move them. They basically practically jump out of the way to get the to get out of harm's way. And they are starting to move after Aldern, who left last turn. They do, however, manage to control them enough so that they can reload their light crossbows and shoot again at this one. So, first one gets the combat advice and hits. Second one without combat advice misses. And the third one also misses. So 1 hit for a good 5 damage. So, that particular boar gets burned in the face and shot in the side, and it's still gunning for more, squealing its terrible war squeal. Wee.
We all the way home.
Unfortunately, man, I have a very long turn. Just the way the initiative order happened this time, it's me,
Yeah.
and then me, and then also me.
Yeah.
So this boar.
Ah.
What's up?
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
Did the lightning bug fight back?
No, it's my cat. I don't even know where that guy went. He probably left. Or he's spider food. Who knows?
Or
This
cat
one
food.
attacks the manservant who hit him with the crossbow with a gore and hits. Oh, for maximum damage, that guy is down.
Damn.
Rip Bozo.
So, and that horse just fucking runs. Okay. Next boar. The one next to Erikson will attack Erikson. Surprise, surprise.
Whoa.
Oh, and it missed.
Oh.
Because Erikson is a lucky bastard, and he's invincible in combat.
I won't say anything.
Figures. What a loser.
The horribly damaged, stabbed and bleeding, hoofed and all that one right here next to Zola will attack Zola's horse. And will hit.
You break it, you buy it, asshole.
Your horse is not happy. It gets gored in the chest, which on your heavy horse is quite generous. So
Took a 1-1.
not the end of the world. What else we got? We got one over here that is threatening Rob. Right, 2 of them. Really? 2 of the board? Oh, no, the other one. Right, there's one over here too. Okay. So, the one that is threatening Mr. Rob, it will once again attack your horse.
That's good.
But it misses.
Good. Even better.
And this one will charge straight at
It's firing the railgun.
Well, actually, this one's going to go for the manservant's horse. So it doesn't really matter, but it hits. Ow, and it does massive damage to that horse. It's probably going to chase that one down and eat it.
That's right.
Actually, yeah, it is going to run away, and it's going to chase it. So this boar, I'm actually going to remove, courtesy of the men servants. Not because it's killed, but because it's going to, it's just not in the combat anymore.
Oh, it's got better things to do.
Yeah.
Seems fair.
Mr. Phrog, it is your turn.
Yippee! What is the closest to me?
There's one that would require entering difficult terrain, Or actually, no, you could just step back to where you were and attack one that's fairly horribly damaged. There's another one that is 10 feet away that you could charge if you wanted to temporarily lower your defenses to potentially get a devastating hit against it.
It is worth noting that the closest one to you is also the one that's attacking the wizard.
Yeah, the closest one
Yeah.
is the one that's attacking the wizard, and the one that's farther away is flanked by Zola and a fiendish eagle.
Alright. I feel like the group of people probably have it covered, and I should probably help finish off the board that's attacking the wizard.
Good idea.
Much appreciated with that. They don't seem to want to die properly.
Wizard
yeah.
needs to survive until he becomes an immortal, unstoppable, magical wrecking machine.
Yeah,
which I am
probably would
very
help.
close.
Alright,
Rip.
so go ahead and do the 5-foot step, I guess.
Yep.
And roll a 15.
You hit.
Alright.
E10 plus 3.
I got a 5, so an 8.
8. Very good. That. Oh, it's almost. It is very, very close to being dead, but it's not quite there yet.
Damn it.
It is horribly, horribly disabled. Well, but that was a very good attack. And you chopped into the back of its neck, and like one of its hooves has gone, one of its legs has gone limp, but it's still fighting.
Alright.
Ugh.
Sweet.
Right? Nothing like nerve damage to wreck your day.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Blower. Why won't you die? It is Erikson's turn. And Erikson is going to really wants to bring his gun to bear, but he also doesn't want to abandon the cleric that he is protecting currently.
Hold the
So-
line.
Right? It's interesting how that happens when I'm in control of his tactical decisions. Yeah. So just gonna go ahead and attack this one. And miss. Loser.
Finally.
But oh yeah, his horse is going to
As well.
the horse hasn't been issued a command and doesn't have any enemies nearby. So it's just going to trot over here and take up a defensive position. Because horses, I don't know if you know this, are fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Horses are really
That's why I have a
stupid.
dog.
Yeah. Dogs are significantly smarter than horses.
It's definitely not because I was too small to ride a horse. It was because I thought dogs are better than
No.
horses.
Unless they're specifically directed by a rider, horses don't usually approach anything to attack it.
Mhm.
If there's something close by, they'll fight it based on, their trained instincts, but you can't like give a herd animal, a social herbivore herd animal, the instinct to attack something, like to
Yeah.
aggressively pursue something. Unfortunately. Zola,
Alright, is it finally time? Can I 2-weapon fight?
you can 2-weapon fight against a boar that has definitely deserved it. Oh, right. I actually forgot to put the X on this guy because he is close to death.
And it's
could
normally
definitely
plus
do with a couple
3,
of stabs.
but I'm gonna add that +2 for the flanking bonus, because I'm gonna attack that bad mamma jammer right there with the eagle.
That's right.
Huh!
That's miss.
Second one!
Ouch.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's so wrong to laugh at your misfortune, but the dice just hate you today. They hate this character. Oh God.
It's your turn to feel the pain.
Hold on. Motherfucker! Look at all those 20s.
He got 4 20s and 4 wins.
Oh, it's okay. I haven't been hit yet. So,
Yeah,
You're just doing a hard reset on the RNG.
yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
what you're doing there?
Apparently,
Oh
making
goodness.
sure it's still active.
Well,
Oh, that was my
Your,
full. That's my full
your-
action. That was
your
the
horse can
horse.
attack.
Yeah.
Your horse can make 1 attack since you were able to make your full attack.
Yeah. What was the attack bonus again? 5?
Yep.
Oh, that's
For the
plus.
bite.
Oh, is that 5 with the flanking bonus?
That would actually be +7. Then.
Nice.
nice suck.
Well, your horse hits. D4 +5.
And you know why my horse sees for me.
And
Max,
that's
9.
maximum damage.
horse
Your
or a
horse
dog?
finishes off the boar.
Man, that was gonna be so fucking cool. I was gonna swing at him, possibly kill him, then swing at the one next to me.
Oh, sorry, man. Sorry.
It's alright. I mean, as long as I'm not dying, I'm fine.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
That's what matters.
Next on the initiative is Mr. Rob.
All right, I'll have my horse attack the boar that's nearly dead.
Alrighty.
1d20 plus 5.
That's right. And that's a hit. And you don't even need to roll damage.
Okay.
That one's done.
Okay.
You are officially no longer under threat. And your horse calms down. It's injured, but it's not going to die from its injury. So now if you want to cast a spell, you won't need to make a concentration check.
I would like to do an acid splash against the boar on the opposite side of me, near you and yeah,
Near
that
the
one.
men servants? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that one. So just cast it. Is that 1d20 plus 2 or something?
Yep, that'll be 1d20. No, you actually gained base attack bonus from your level. So it will be 1d20 plus your dex modifier plus your base attack bonus. So 1d20 plus 3.
Nice.
And you get a 22. Yeah,
That's
go
it.
ahead and roll your usual maximum damage there. And you did.
Called it. Nice little ping of acid.
There we go. Well,
This is bullshit.
Acidified bork. Or
Finally get to laugh at somebody else's misfortune.
right. There you go. All right. We're back to the top of the initiative. Hard to believe all of this combat has only been 3 rounds now. Like, this is the top of the 3rd round.
There were a
Yeah.
lot of boars. And they don't
Yep.
go down.
They do not go down easy, that is for sure. So this eagle doesn't actually need to be directed to attack. But Mharia will give combat advice against this one next to Erikson. And this eagle will move to flank the target because it has good combat instincts. So it's going to move like this. Like it's going to move up here, then over here, and then like that.
There you go.
It will
I'll
only
be right
get
back. I gotta let my cat out.
1 attack. Yep, no problem. And it's going to miss anyway. But at least it's flanking. Let's... Mharia will use a firebolt against this one.
Protect the manservants. And Alden, he'll probably make up some bullshit about how we murdered them or something to cover up his cowardice.
I love these things with low touch AC. Because I just hit again. And that was actually a pretty decent hit. Okay. And that one is in its ferocious throes. Ferocious death throes. So these menservant might actually survive this. Neat. Well, those two. And it's the menservant's turn.
Run away!
Oh,
Right.
right. Accidentally deleted the one that was carrying their initiative. It was 15.
Whoopsie.
So this menservant, the horses are spooked and they run.
Tell them what you
They
saw here.
will Try to make ride checks. I believe they are actually trained in ride. They are riders. Oh no, they're trained in animal. Too bad. They can still make a check. That one actually succeeds. The other one fails. The one that succeeds is able to turn and fire at this one. And misses. Well, that was productive. Oh wait, yeah, there was an attack of opportunity from the boar. It gets one attack of opportunity. And hits. Ugh, and does pretty devastating damage to one of the horses, which goes into the panic and flees. Okay. This boar right here is disabled. And it comes and has been burned by Mharia twice. So it goes right up to Mharia. And squirts some blood for doing so. But is still alive and will attack next turn if it can. Not likely. The boar that is currently threatening Erikson will attack Erikson again. And
That's a hit.
I actually switched him to a chain shirt because him being in a medium load doesn't actually do anything. Because he's a dwarf.
Isn't chain shirt expensive as shit starting out?
It's only 100 gold. He doesn't have to pay for his gun.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, like I was looking through his equipment and I was like, there's nothing here that would actually be that expensive. Yeesh. Mr. Dwarf gets fucking gutted for 11 damage. He's now below half. And would it move? Yeah, it would probably. It's going to move away from its companion, though, because that's just one of the stupid things they do. But it doesn't do it in order. Okay, there was just the two of them, so. Phrog.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear
Yep.
you. It is your turn, Mr. Phrog. There isn't one immediately near you. You can take a move action to get in range of either.
All right.
One of them is significantly more damaged than the other. Do you want to go for the one that's more damaged or the one that's fresher?
Let's go with the fresh one.
Okay. Would you like to move into a position? You can move into a flank.
Okay. That sounds good.
So move there. Okay. You can attack the boar.
All right. I got an 11.
11 plus.
I think it's 4. 15.
Plus the flank is 16. You definitely hit.
Awesome. 1d10 for 1 damage. Plus,
Oh, +3. Yeah.
yeah.
So you give it a good slice across the snout. Painful, but not damaging. Not like debilitating, I mean.
Yeah.
Not like what you did to that one boar.
Indeed.
Can't be perfect every time.
Erikson will... What is Erikson going to do? Erikson is going to take a step here. And he is going to attack the one that is attacking Mharia. With his sword. And this time he's going to hit. Let's see if he can get the killing blow. Or he does. This one is deleted.
Oh, God.
Good job, Vulcan. I knew you had it in you. Next is Zola.
Alright. This fucker's flanked, please. Okay. +7. What?
That's a hit.
Oh, thank God. Die, hello shit! 9.
Oh, that was a good hit.
Yeah.
Did you want to make your other attack?
Yep.
That's also a hit.
Ah! 6.
Also a good hit. It is into its death throes. Alrighty.
Just start violently stabbing down on it.
And your horse can make 1 bite, since it is being adequately controlled.
It was also +7, right? Because it's normally +5 plus flank.
Well, okay.
What was the
So-
horse's stats?
You aren't actually flanking it. It is flanked. So you definitely still get the sneak attack bonus, but you wouldn't actually get the attack bonus unless you specifically were flanking. It's okay
Alright.
because you hit either way.
Okay.
Like your attack still hit. So everything you did up to that point was
Look.
fine and legal.
Alright,
What's
then
up?
this is +5 on the horse.
Okay.
Nothing, don't worry about it.
Oh, horse hits with its shag nasty bite.
1d4 plus what?
1d4 plus 5.
Jesus.
I know, right?
Oh, 6. Look at all these ones.
Oh, it is right there.
God damn it.
Yeah. And last on the initiative order is Rob. Rob the wizard.
Yep.
Don't mind if I do.
Do another. Do the one that's nearly dead. Attack that one with acid splash again.
Yep.
Rather than risk any more damage to my horse.
Absolutely.
Because,
Gonna need some
I
horse
gotta roll
healing.
1d20, don't I?
Yep.
1d20 plus 3.
Yep.
Alright, so.
Oh, you
You don't
definitely
crit
hit, and you
Yep.
don't even need to roll damage because it only had 1 hit point left.
Oh, I didn't even have to roll damage? Okay, because I rolled my usual 3.
Yeah.
My redemption arc,
Sure
no!
did.
And there we
There we
go. Yeah, so the men servants they flee after their master, who when you guys eventually make it back to town, it turns out he didn't actually come back. He left all his shit and he just fucked all the way off.
Okay.
Really now?
The men servants, however, they one of them eventually gets control of his mount, The other one, his mount was pretty severely damaged, and he thought it would be best to take it into the stable to have it seen to. The other one actually
Right.
comes back to check out you guys, and he expresses his obvious displeasure with his
Ex-master.
former master. Yeah, and he actually prepares the boars for transport because
Oh,
well,
that's right. They were all going to be
there's-
turned into a feast.
there's 5 of them, and each one is these. I decided they were all males. Yeah, so that's about 500 pounds of usable meat.
God damn.
Yeah,
They're just going to
so,
feed the whole
he-
town.
Yeah, he actually gets to work, and like instead of transporting full carcasses, what he does is he's actually going to break them down. Anyone who has what would it be, profession hunter, or something related, like a profession cook could also do it. But
Oh.
if anyone just wants to help in whatever way, or just help carry it, because there's like saddlebags, or you can improvise like a dragging litter or something
Yeah.
to carry it all.
Oh, we do have war horses. Well, most of us.
Hey,
One of us has a war dog.
Now,
yeah, but my dog did some damage.
indeed. So, one of the fun things about this game is they actually have prices for a surprising amount of things in the
Mhm.
equipment section, and meat is one of them.
Alright.
Meat is technically, officially, 3 silver pieces per half pound. This is 500 pounds of usable meat. So that's
It's a lot of
6
math.
silver pieces per
Per
pound,
pound.
which is 300 gold of meat.
Nice.
It's a lot of meat.
Now,
That's what she
Aldern's
said.
original theory was to donate everything that you guys successfully had on your hunt to the town. Would you guys like to do that?
I feel like we should keep some of it for ourselves. Just some of it though.
Well,
I mean,
you
let's
guys are
be
part
real.
of the
They were.
town, so you'll definitely get your share anyway.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Me being the rogue and all, they're expecting us to maybe kill like 1 or 2 boars, right? Because it's just like it's like a little nobleman boar hunt. I don't think they're expecting us to kill this many. We could make some profit.
I think that's fair. What do you think, Rob?
I understand that. Makes sense. That they're not expecting us to kill that many boar.
Indeed. Although, as any druid in the area would be happy to inform you, you guys did a very good thing here, because you
Build down the population.
yeah, which if the population gets too out of control, it's actually going to attract really bad predators.
Ooh, let's let the population grow out of control so we can all die. I mean, what?
Yeah,
Is
that
there
would
like
be
a
bad.
actual druid that would tell us this in town, or is that just like general info?
There are like local druids who have made their displeasure of the Tickwood known. They can't do anything about it because it's private property protected by like the legal protection of Magnamar. But
'Cause
yeah.
I sure would love to do something about it.
If we have like nature experts at our disposal, I would like to ask them about the status of the forest, because, as you mentioned, male boars usually don't hunt in packs, and normally when they do that is because there's a food shortage.
Indeed. So these particular male boars, there's nothing like really distinctive about them, except that they seem to be extraordinarily well muscled. But the manservant explains that they actually always have this kind of muscle. They just usually have a lot more fat to cover it. So these boar were actually it's like they've been cutting for a while, bulking and cutting. These are like bodybuilder boars,
Okay.
Yay.
and they were literally on the precipice of starting to starve.
Okay, so has they noticed anything similar with other animals of the region?
Um, Well, when you guys get back to town, let's do one thing at a time. So we'll talk to an actual ecology expert when you guys are back in town. Before you guys get back in town, how much of the meat would you like to donate for a feast? I think it would probably be enough, because not everyone's going to show up, and
Mhm.
probably a quarter of the town's population are children anyway. So you could probably get away with like 100 pounds of meat, and everyone would be able to eat their fill. And then you guys could sell the rest.
Yeah, it's still like 400
So
pounds
like
we can sell.
so we take 100 or they get 100.
They get 100. You guys keep 400.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you were to sell it, like let's say to the local butcher who could turn lots of it into like, rations, jerky, it could be salt pork, lots of different options. Technically you would have to sell it for half, but no, it's a commodity good. So yeah, you'd be able to get 225 gold from that.
It's a
How
lot.
much was that?
I think. Oh, wait, no. 240.
Damn.
I don't really see a problem with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Sounds good. So you guys make it back to town. Anyone feel like spreading stories about Aldern at the Rusty Dragon? There is a stage, after all, for telling stories, and Amiko did invite you to do so.
I don't think that's the best idea. Let's
Yeah, I mean, a supposedly wealthy nobleman, we probably don't want to piss him off.
That is a surprisingly good decision, gentlemen.
Yeah. Plus, I don't have the charisma to pull it off
Oh.
anyway.
Also, here's what I'm thinking, right? Okay, so we go out to this boar hunt, right? And there's actually something out in the forest that's causing like population change and whatnot that caused the boars to become aggressive. Or that fucker set us up.
Good
I mean,
questions.
All these boars just out of nowhere unnaturally just come and swarm us, and that fucker runs away at the first sight by himself, leaving his manservant witnesses behind.
That is definitely worth investigating. However, that investigation will need to wait till next week.
Yep.
'Cause it's 11. You're definitely on your way to being more established in the town's eye. There is not exactly a grand celebration, but people are really happy to, especially the mothers in town, the various mothers and caretakers are happy to have the night off from dinner. So there's a very,
Yeah.
very appreciative crowd show up, especially with so many people grieving and so many people worried for the people who are missing. You definitely have done a good thing. While things are cooking and you guys are looking into investigate, the investigation actually comes to you. You're invited to another meeting with acting mayor Titus Scarnetti, who has a surprise visitor in town who wants to meet you all.
Oh, lovely.
Oh boy.
Huh.
Yep, but we will pick that up next time on Dragon Ball Z. On Rise of the Runelords. So,
Give it
later,
time.
y'all. I need to go to sleep. I'm getting batty.
Alright, man. Take care.
Have a good one, man.
Bye-bye. Later, cheese bags. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Oh gosh.
He's actually using